Today we're going to solve the system of equations, learn how to solve a system of equations, and in particular the problems I set up today are asking for substitution. Not formally asking, but they're kind of set up in a way that's going to be very easy by substitution. So our first example will be x equals 3y plus 7 and 3x plus 5y equals negative 7. So geometrically these two objects are lines, and by solving the system what you're finding is the place in the plane where they intersect. So we're going to have two answers, an x and a y coordinate. Now because of the way that this is set up, we have a 3x plus 5y equals negative 7 as the bottom equation. And notice that I said x, but I didn't write it in here because what is another name for x? Well, according to the first equation, x is 3y plus 7. So this is formally called substitution because we're replacing the x with this other expression that x is equal to, namely 3y plus 7. Well, from here on now, this is just going to be an algebra problem. So distribute the 3 in on the 2 halves. 3 times 3 is 9. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 5y equals negative 7. So all I did so far was distributive property. Then I'll collect like terms. The 9y and the 5y are a total of 14y plus 21 equals to negative 7. Subtract 21 from both sides of the equation to give me 14y equals negative 28. And then finally divide by 14 and get the answer of y equals negative 2. Now this doesn't complete the problem. We still have to come up to the beginning and remember that x was equal to 3 times y plus 7. 3 times y plus 7. But now we've done this work to figure out what y is. Y is negative 2. So we can now take this and replace it into here as a negative 2 and then calculate what we get. Let's see. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6 plus 7, and negative 6 plus 7 is 1. So it looks like x is 1, y is negative 2 is the final solution. Okay, now with that knowledge, try this one on your own. Pause the video for a second and see if you can solve this one. And assuming you gave it a good shot here, let's cruise through it together. Together we would see that we have a 5x plus 2y, but y is equal to 2x minus 7. And that's equal to negative 5. We replaced y into the top equation. Now we just do some distributive property and collecting of like terms. Let's see, 5x plus 4x minus 14 equals negative 5. 9x minus 14 equals negative 5. Add 14 to both sides. 9x equals 9. And finally, x equals 1. But of course, this doesn't complete the problem. Now we just know that x equals 1, so we have to go to our y equation and say that y equals 2 times x, which is 1, minus 7. 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 minus 7 is negative 5. So the final answer to this problem would be x equals 1, and y equals negative 5.